is back.
I know. That's what we're going to talk about, right?
Yes.
Was that your bumper? That's terrible.
Hi everyone, I'm Sandrine, this is Americ.
Hello.
Let's talk about the 100 Season 4, Episode 1.
Uno. It
Echoes.
is back. Echoes. Echo.
It is back. Let's start with some quick thoughts.
Yep.
So at the end of last season, we were worried about Indra.
Yeah.
Because we were like, what's up
She
with
is
Indra?
back. She's still alive.
She's still alive.
She still lives.
And then we start right at the, following the events of last season. And the first thing that Octavia does is see Indra, and she's like, Indra, let me go save her.
Nah, that was cute.
Yeah. I also really love the hug between Indra and Kane.
Yeah.
When she knows. She's like... And then we also had a really cute moment of Clarke smiling when she sees Abby and Kane, having a moment. And she's like, finally my mom is happy.
Yeah, and we talked about that in Trailer Breakdown where we saw Abby and Kane potentially getting it on. And you know what I think about that? That's like...
Cabby is happening.
Oh, yeah. Cabby is happening, which means one of them ain't making it.
Oh.
Because there's no happiness.
Why do you have to, bring us down?
Look,
We just started.
I keep it real.
We had a moment with Clarke acknowledging the loss of Lexa.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when Lexa died, it was just action, action, action. I don't think Clarke really had a moment to, take it in. And I think this is a moment where, all right, Allie's gone. Everything's done.
Yeah.
I loved her mom, and then she just breaks down, and I was like, oh. And then, they cut to Bellamy looking at Clarke, which I'm like, oh, they're setting something up.
Do you think?
Yeah.
And he looked like he was being like Mr. Bitter. It's like...
He was not bitter. No, he was not.
I felt like there was a whatever vibe coming from Bellamy.
Okay. Totally disagree with you. I think it was more of a pain look, as in
I feel
first
your
of
pain.
all, I feel sad that she's sad, and then I feel sad that she's sad about someone else than me, type of thing.
Bitter, like I
It's
said.
not bitter. Moving on to Arcadia. So Raven has been sort of upgraded. Her brain has been upgraded
Because now she
because
knows
of
how to
Allie
code.
2.0. So
Yeah.
it's like Allie 2.0 brain, right?
The thought I had when I saw that, I was like, what else can she do, right? Is it like the Matrix? Is she like, I know Kung Fu?
But it was just kind of like when she was confronted with it is when she realized that she could do it. So you make a good point. What else can she do? And can she only find out that she can do those things when confronted with those things? Which, I feel is kind of an out to the writers. Because if you can say, well, she can now do, Kung Fu. Because
Look, I'll take it. What I find interesting is that she's the only one that got upgraded. And I think part of it is because
She fought it.
She fought it. She actually developed a resistance and then eventually had to be sort of like rewritten to accept Allie. And I like that. I like that there's something special about Raven. Don't mess with Riri.
And then we have Jasper, which I think is quite interesting because, in case you didn't know, last season, the writers wanted to kill the character of Jasper. They actually, I think they even shot the whole scene of him killing himself, pretty much. And it seems like now in this season, they're kind of taking that same idea where they're getting the character to go the same route, except that instead of actually killing himself, he's like, what? We're dying in 6 months? Well, then I don't need to kill myself because, I'm going to die anyway. But I feel like it would have been really dark, holy crap.
This was dark too, right? Because
Yeah.
he's not happy to live. He's more
That's
of what's the point, right? It's like...
Might as well.
Yeah, might as well enjoy myself. It's like, I know.
I just hope we don't get this Jasper of we're all gonna die anyway the whole season, because it can get tiring a little bit. I feel like last season he was just drinking and being like, I'm so sad, and I'm like, I get it, but usually in shows you kind of try to get the character move on because
Yeah, but I do suspect that part of it is the Jason Rothenberg, the executive producer, wanted to add more levity to the series, and I suspect that Jasper is going to be part of that, just adding.
He did have some funny lines.
Because it's hard for Bellamy to make jokes, right? He's not going to make jokes, Clarke
is not going to make jokes,
right? So you have to find someone to
That's
just
true.
bring the levity in there. So yeah, I think Jasper is an interesting choice, a bold one. Because it might have some devastating consequences.
Moving on to Polis. A few character updates.
Yep.
First, Jaha going through some sort of redemption, trying to redeem himself a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he's like, yeah, I kind of effed up
Yeah.
a little bit.
Because he's the one who went to go get Allie.
Yeah, he started it all.
Yeah, he started it all.
It was really all his fault.
Yeah, it's kind of Jah's fault. It kind of is, yeah. But he is trying.
Murphy has now reunited with Amori, and he wants her to come with him to Arcadia to be safe. And I'm like, wow, Murphy is getting really attached to Amori, and this is the 100. So
Amori gonna
I'm
go.
like really worried now. I'm like, no, no.
Amori's a done
Whoa,
deal.
no, Murphy.
Nope.
Don't love her too much.
Every time a character starts the season like in love with another
and then
character,
also see a future together.
Yeah, oh, that's
I'm just
wow.
like, no.
Oh my God,
no.
it's like check. One of you gotta go. It's like
it's terrible. I'm like, almost don't want them to like love each other too much.
I'm not crazy about it, to be honest. Like Amori was not like a character where I'm just like, she's so interesting that I want her to be with him. So I'm not like sad about it.
But I'm sad for Murphy. Like I'm just like,
I do think Murphy will be fine.
he's a survivor. But still, why? Like, you know, at least for once that he has a connection with somebody.
Yeah, I always felt Murphy maybe should try to have a connection with someone from the original 100, you know? Although it's a little bit difficult because he's such a douche.
I think you have like, well, you know, you never know. Mm-hmm. You never know. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, you just have like a one moment and then I'm on board. You know, I'm very easy when it comes to...
Raven and Murphy.
Oh, God. That would actually kind of work.
Uh-huh. What's the ship name? Murphy?
Maven.
Yes! Yes!
I feel like it's almost meant to be. It's like a cool ship name.
Who's with Maven? Comment below. Maven. Let us know.
Oh.
Let us know.
Damn it, Americ! I mean, if I start shipping people, they're not even going to be together. This is going to be like...
I will go down with...
And now let's talk about Azgeda and them kind of taking over Polis and being like, this is ours now, bitches. They started pretty strong. I mean, Echo is like, this is ours. And then when the ambassador is like, no, the ambassadors will be ruling. They're like,
that ambassador says what?
What?
Why do we laugh at character deaths? We're horrible people.
When we're watching the episode, we were like, Echo is like the new Antari, or she's just gonna going a little too crazy.
Yeah.
And then when Antari was going crazy, we're like, yeah, she's gonna die. Yeah. Like she's killing too many people. She's like crazy. So I feel
I think they're building her up as sort of like
the villain.
The villain
who eventually will die.
Yeah. Which is like, I guess you always need a foe, but it feels trivial. Right? Like thinking about the big things that are coming. It's hard
to.
Yeah, I guess.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to have the big thing that is happening, and then you have to have people that are trying to survive this, and then other people who are trying to prevent them from, surviving. It's like in Game of Thrones. You have the White Walker, which is the reactor. Which is the real threat. And then you have, then you have the Lannisters and all of that. Cersei, who is like the foes.
Wow, she just blew my mind right there. Really? Yes, it totally blew my mind.
I really like the plan that they had to go get Roan. And I like that they're like, well, we need to get Roan. Mm-hmm. I'm not really 100% sure that he's going to side with us, but we really have no other choice. Yeah. And I like Jaha like carrying who we think is Antari inside, but it's really Octavia. And she's just like a super badass. Like killing all the guards and just like, all right.
Octavia Assassin is kind of the best, I have to say. Yeah. Like that's my favorite sort of like iteration of her character. And I can't wait to just see more of that.
I think something I also really liked in that moment is how both Bellamy and Kane are putting a lot of faith in Clarke and Abby's success, or like they really believe they're gonna make it. So you have Bellamy almost like sacrificing himself because he was almost getting killed, or he was just getting prisoners or whatever. He's just like, I just need to give them as much time as possible. And then Kane is like, Abby will do it, kind of thing. And it was kind of like, they're like a team. They're like, they will make it. I trust in them.
Yeah, I do think that, especially after the whole like Bellamy going rogue and Kane, being taken over by the chip, there's like a need to sort of like be together, right? So there's a need to coalesce. So I'm not surprised that they're working so well together, and I'm glad it worked out.
Speaking of working out, as cliche as it is, I still thought it was kind of cool that just as Echo is about to kill Clarke, Roan is like, stop.
she's the main character of the show. You can't kill her. But it was pretty cool though, right? Like it was just right at the right moment.
And he's like, oh, stop. She saved my life.
King Roan.
King Roan.
First of his name.
I don't know how I feel about Clarke offering him the flame, though. She's trying to create, like, a trust also between them. Because she's like... Because she understands that at this point, if I don't give it to you, it doesn't matter because we're all going to die.
Yeah.
And we need to figure out how to live. So you know what? I'm giving you the most precious thing that I have to show you how bad the situation is.
Yeah, but here's the thing about the flame. In and of itself, it has no value, right? It's very symbolic in nature. It's symbolic for her, and it's symbolic for the people,
which is
right?
That's why it's so powerful.
No, I'm saying in and of itself, right? For someone who has the commander's like bloodline and everything,
like
it's super important, right? Because that's literally the thing that's gonna make you rule. So right now, whoever holds the flame is really whoever holds the key to the power, not the power itself, right? Which is almost as important.
Yeah.
So I think the symbolism here of like, look, here, I'm going to give you the key to the power, something that's really important, knowing full well, hey, we're dealing with nuclear, end. It's like, cool, keep the trinkets, all right? We're going to try to survive this. I feel like that's kind of like where it's at. Yeah.
And I think Roan was smart in when using the flame, he's saying, I have the flame. I'm going to honor the wishes of the last commander. So it's like, really using their beliefs and their system to honor the fact that Sky Crew is now part of the coalition.
Yeah.
Also, I think a big theme this season, and I think we talked maybe also about that in our trailer breakdown for the season, is that there's going to be a lot of redemption.
Yeah.
And, we already saw that there's Jaha trying to redeem himself, but I think that Bellamy will be trying to redeem himself a lot this season. Kane tells him when he's leaving, before you know it, we'll deserve to survive. And there's a lot of hints and a lot of things that people tell Bellamy to try and tell him, just continue to do good work. And eventually, you'll feel better about what you did because you have a lot to make up for kind of thing. And, I think this is going to be kind of Bellamy's journey for us to kind of get over some things he did last season. And I think as the audience and also the characters in the show, because I think the characters in the show, while they're working with him, because eventually they know like he came to their side, they're like, I understand that, you still have to do a little more. And even I think he feels that way because the reason why Kane told him, don't worry, you'll eventually feel like you deserve to survive is because it seems like maybe doesn't feel like he does, or like he doesn't feel quite right yet about what happened, which, I think is good. I think it gives the character some depth. It's not just like, well, I did that, but who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
I have no feelings about it.
And I think you said it right. The fact that other characters are noticing it, I think adds more weight to it. In my opinion, ultimately, the ultimate redemption has to come from the ultimate sacrifice, which is Bellamy giving his life to try to save one or more people.
It's probably either going to be he's trying to save everyone, and so he's kind of sacrificing himself to save everyone, or he's going to sacrifice himself to kind of save Clarke, because Clarke, there's a possibility that at some point Clarke will be like, well, someone needs to press a button, outside. I will. And then Bellamy maybe knocks her out, puts her in the thing, and then takes her place kind of thing. Something like that.
Yeah,
that's like
that. Very likely to happen.
Yeah, very likely to happen. Can we talk about that radiation though? Because I love how the episode ends with like, well, I know we talk about radiation and you kind of think, yeah, it's pretty bad. Let us show you how bad it is. Yeah. Like in case you weren't sure.
And the fact that it's happening in Egypt, I think shows that it's kind of like a global phenomenon, right? So it's happening in multiple places. Like every no one will be spared, and when it comes, it's going to be pretty brutal. But if you remember in the trailer, they actually say that there's going to be like waves, right? There's going to be the rain, there's going to be the, lesions, and there's going to be all this. So there's a lot of stuff that are going to like, this is bad. This is pretty bad. So, they're in for a rough ride.
Yeah, but that's what we thought of this episode. What did you think of this episode? What do you think about Bellamy's redemption arc?
Comment below, let us know.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Always really helpful. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our 100 reviews. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.